Billy D here with another amazing pre-Cal Jam podcast sponsored by our good friends up in Palmyra, Wisconsin. Standard Process. I got a good buddy of mine from the Corn Belt, Tornado Alley here, Dr. Timothy Young, all the way from OKC, the lead dude at Focus. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Dr. Tim Young.
Hey everybody, how is everybody? Billy, man, look how good you look today.
Oh, you look good too, like I was telling you, Big Tim. If I could reach in and give you a big kiss, I'd do that right now. All right, so I want to open with this quote. You never know how far-reaching something you say, think, or do will affect the lives of millions. And it was kind of funny, your initial initiation to Cal Jam. I really love this story. And then how that spawned Focus. It's just like you start with I started with two guys reading green books. It went to the Dead Chiropractic. Then it started Cal Jam, and then you see offshoots of Cal Jam. I mean, Paul got influenced to start Chiro Fest. You got influenced to start Focus, and I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying you start spinning stuff out. It really can affect literally billions of people on this planet.
Absolutely.
So share your story. Because I think it's hilarious because you came with some degree of apprehension at first, right?
So this was you know what's funny? It's probably about right at this moment 10 years ago because we're getting ready to celebrate 10 years of Cal Jam.
You came to the first Cal Jam?
Very first one.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Cal Jam 1. So this is 10 years ago right now, and I'm at my house. I'm in my office, my home office, my study, and I am on the internet, and I'm just searching for anything philosophy. I was a member of a management group, and I'm not going to say which one. It's irrelevant, but this management group, and it's gotten really bad, but it was kind of like, and I hate to admit it because I didn't realize it at the time, kind of like a cult. You didn't step outside the group.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot in our profession where they don't want you to go get fed anywhere else. They want you they want to control you,
Well, yeah, and here's the thing.
So anti-chiropractic.
When I joined it, I was young in practice. I didn't know any different. And it helped me. It really did help me a lot. Give me some direction. It helped me with business and practice stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of philosophy, and I'm a chiropractor, damn it, and I love this stuff. And so, but as a counselor, you can't step outside the group. So anyway, I'm searching the internet, and I just type in chiropractic philosophy. And I'm waiting, and all of a sudden, this thing comes up, Dead Chiropractic Society. Of course, the first thought, and I remember like I'm sitting here right now, and looking and went, what the hell is that? And so I hit it, and this Dead Chiropractic Society comes up, and then this Cal Jam thing comes up. So when I read it, I didn't have a clue what it meant. I had no idea what it was about. I never had met you. I never heard of you. It's funny, BJ talks about thought flashes, and your innate speaks to you sometimes, and it does a lot, and a lot of us ignore it. But there's something very, very powerful about it because at that moment, I got up and I went to my wife, and this is interesting. I went to my wife and I said, hey, there's this thing out in California, Cal Jam. I need to go. Now, if you know my wife, she is an incredible woman. She backs me, supports me, but she questions. She has a way of questioning. Okay, so why are you going there? How much does it cost? What is the purpose? That's because I'm the kind of the jump off the cliff, build the airplane on the way down.
Yeah, me too.
Go, hey, stupid, let's stop before you jump. Great relationship. But what was interesting was not one question. Okay, let's pull up flights, just like that. So it was a meant to be. So
right.
I did not tell my best friend that I was going. I went totally by myself. Me and my wife were the only two people that knew that I was flying to California for the first Cal Jam. No one in my group, my management group, knew because just in case, because I didn't know if this was another management group. And then all of a sudden, Tim Young, the counselor,
just thought we'd be like sitting around smoking a bunch of weed or something, huh?
So they thought maybe I might be like going to switch management groups or something. Oh, he had no idea. You got to think, Billy. Cal Jam 1. No one knew. Right,
so right. I didn't know either. I didn't know.
So I get to California, and I'm by myself, and I come to this beautiful, entertainment center, where it's at, Performing Arts Center, and I
I'm just curious what people think when they walk in that place for the first.
Oh, it's overwhelming. Really, it's overwhelming. And see, you have to understand. I had not been. I've been to one. I went to the very first. My first Parker Seminar in Vegas in '95, and I was only there like for just a few hours. So I had never been to anything. I'd never been to DE. I'd never been anything like this. This was my first introduction to this kind of stuff. So I sat there in the middle, overwhelmed with how big it was and everything was going on. And I have to tell you, Billy, probably within the first hour, my mouth was open, my jaw dropped, and I didn't realize there was this many people out there like me. I thought I was the only one that crazy about chiropractic. I thought I was the only one that, I had my Black Sabbath shirt on earlier and I took it off. I didn't
I would
realize.
love to see the Black Sabbath shirt.
I just saw Black Sabbath in Tulsa. I had never got to see him before. It was awesome.
That was my first concert in 1974.
Oh my God. So I just saw him in Tulsa. So I took Scott Shook for Jim and I went. But anyway, so here I sit, overwhelmed for 2 days. The only reason I got up is to run to the bathroom and came back. I ate at TGI every day because I didn't know where else to go. I didn't know anybody. I was by myself. Billy, it was overwhelming. And I left there with a whole different appreciation for the profession. Now I knew other people were out there. It was one of the catalysts of where I sit today and why I do what I do was that first Cal Jam opened my mind to limitless possibilities. And we're great friends. I consider you one of my best friends. I will never be able to thank you enough for what you did. And so with that being said, so the next year, so a whole year goes by and I'm overwhelmed with this. And I bring three of my friends. I said, you guys, I want you to come with me. You know, it's kind of like that experience. You go to a great restaurant and it was the best experience. And you went, well, I'm going to go back and just see if that was not a one-time deal.
Right.
I bring three of my buddies. About an hour into it, I look down this next to me as they're sitting next to me, look at their faces. Their eyes are this big, their mouths are open, and they're looking at me going, look at this. Overwhelmed. So the next year I bring 20, and the next year I bring 200. We just keep doing it. So it was life-changing, Billy. And like you said, you never know just what the internet, chiropractic philosophy leads to this, leads to that. So that was the catalyst. That's what brought me to Cal Jam in the first place.
So then you go home and then you want to bring it up to your beautiful wife that you want to start your gig in Oklahoma. How did she take to that?
Well, see, now here's what happened. Again, there's this thought flash we talked about. So it wasn't, you go, so Cal Jam is at the first of the year, and then so we have to wait all year long to get to Cal Jam again.
Right.
And so went to after my second Cal Jam, so after Cal Jam 2, that spring, so that was we were there, probably February, March, I don't remember what month that was. That spring, I did a lot of cycling, long-term, and I went on a bike ride. It was 30 miles from where I went back. And I'm just cycling, and none of this stuff was on my mind. I get right to where the turnaround is, and out of nowhere, it hits me. Focus, the Fountain of Chiropractic Understanding. I see the seminar, I see the meeting. By the time I got back on a 15-mile ride back, I already had who I wanted there. I had my speech was already done in my head. We got to do this. And so I walk in my house and I said, honey, this is what I want to do. And she's kind of used to me doing this now, but at that time, the look on her face, like, all right, again, my partner that questions everything, there wasn't a question.
Right.
Let's do this. And within 30 days or within 90 days, we put this thing together in 90 days. And you and I were talking about this before we got on here. I called you, I called Brad Glowacki, Rob Sennett, Eric Russell. I had never met any of you. Not one time have I met you guys. I get your information, I contact you, and you guys came both barrels just blazing and brought it. We had over 300 people.
Yeah, that was an amazing first gig, bro. I'm telling you right now.
It was just wow. I mean, and the fact that you and Brad and you guys just came without questioning, absolutely will be there. From that moment on, I mean, we've been great friends ever since, and because we had a similar.
How could we not, bro? You're like my bodyguard, whether you want to be it or not. you know what the thing is too? It's just like Brad, myself, we'll do stuff. I mean, it wasn't like when you asked me, it was like, of course I'm going to help you out, man, because you've got the same heart that I have, man, and you've got the same mission to get in chiropractic the world, and there's no competition in this. I mean, obviously you don't want to have it the same day we have ours, but the thing is, like I've tried to teach people, you need to get dipped regularly. That's why I'd really like to work out some kind of program where we all kind of cross promote. You promote your gig, ChiroFest, Cal Jam, because people should go to different, and it's good to get out and go to different cities and see things.
Well, Billy, what happened was one of the things that really sparked this in my head. It was kind of a subconscious thing that one of the guys I invited to Cal Jam, Kevin Tucker in Kansas City, he came to me after his first Cal Jam. He came to me. He said, "Okay, this is incredible. This is great." And he said, "But I got a question." He said, "How you get here and you get pumped and you get psyched and you get motivated and inspired? How do you maintain that all year long?" And I said, "Well, Kevin," I said, "let's look at it this way. If it's 100 degrees outside and you're hot and you have a swimming pool, what do you do?" Well, he said, "Well, you get in the pool." All right, so you get in the pool, you get dipped, right? Well, when you get out, if you start getting hot and drying off, what do? Well, you get back in the damn pool. So it's like, well, but here's the thing. We have Cal Jam at the first of the year. That's why we started. That's why we have Focus in Oklahoma City in the very last weekend of July, because it's
hot, dude. It's hot there. I like that.
You know what? But it's fun, isn't it? Though
I love it.
So it's that's why we have it there, because you have it the first of the year.
There's something in the water there too. I'm letting you know that right now. I mean, I've never seen a high that. You know what I'm saying? There's something weird about the population there. It's a beautiful population, is what I'm trying to say.
You know what? We have a lot of fun here, and you know, Focus. We're getting ready to have Focus 8. You're coming.
Jesus Christ! You know, really? You got your 8th year under your belt too?
Isn't this crazy? Number 8.
Oh my God! Yeah, and I'm going to really help you promote it this year. I'm going to be like your number one promoter, because I'm good at that right now. I've got kind of a little bit of an influence on people. So lately, and then your daughter now is at Parker.
She's at Parker. She graduates in August. Next August. She's getting close.
Jesus Christ, man! Time flies, huh? I remember when she started.
You know what? And I don't know. She's been to several Cal Jams. If she can get there, I mean, as a student, she flies out to Cal Jam, and she, you know, just the same thing we're talking about, Billy. She goes to everything. She goes to Epic. She goes to Cal Jam. She goes to Focus. She goes to Parker, and she's a student. Right. She puts more time in to learn about being a chiropractor than the chiropractors do.
Right.
So it's an amazing
way that chiropractors won't invest in themselves in their practice, and you know, I just got off the phone with Matt.
One of the biggest killers.
What's that?
I said apathy is one of the biggest killers in our profession.
And so is procrastination.
Yeah.
I just got off a podcast with Matthew Loop, who I love dearly because he's got some great shit too. But if people are struggling chiropractic, it's like, dude, it's so easy, man. It's just you got to be on fire, number one, and that drives everything else. It's like sometimes people get a little upset with me because I'm all about getting people fired up, but you got to own it in your belly first. You know, you got to really just own this stuff and really, and then everything else falls into place. Then you're going to do what needs to be done. So one of the big issues too is we're seeing with a lot of the kids coming out of school is that they don't focus on the adjustment anymore. So you've been teaching, I don't know if you're still doing this or not, but you were teaching technique with Tim O'Shea.
Yeah, you know what? We are, and Tim O'Shea and I, what was interesting was probably, golly, 4 years ago, 5 years, it goes by so fast. Several years ago, Tim and I were doing a continuing ed seminar in Boulder, Colorado. And at break, someone asked me if I would adjust them. And so I did. And there was a group, the doctors that were there for the continuing ed meeting, they were standing around watching, and they had this look of shock on their face. and I'll never forget one of the female chiropractors. She said, "What was that?" And I was confused. Tim and I looked at each other. Well, that was an adjustment. They'd never seen that before. So we got to adjusting everybody, and they said, "Would you come back and have an adjusting seminar?" And that's what started this whole thing. So Tim and I have taught several together, actually all over the world. You know, we've been to England and, you know, London and Scotland. But, you know, Tim and I are, you know, he's a great guy. We're both so busy. He teaches the vaccines and nutrition, and he's all over the place. And so we've kind of been doing it separately at the same time. I work a lot with students. Matter of fact, my daughter just texted me about coming back to Parker. I've been to Parker probably a half a dozen times teaching technique. I've been to Logan. I've been to Life. I've been to Cleveland. I spend a lot of time with the students teaching the technique, but we also teach. I have a technique course the Thursday before Focus, and a lot of doctors are flying in early. I had doctors from Canada fly in for that course. And really, my adjusting technique, I'm going to be honest with you, Billy, it's a form of it. It's basically it's diversified, but it's my version of it. And
right, I tell people all the time, you like what technique do I practice DeMoss technique, man. I mean, it's based
exactly. Well, and I learned from one of the masters, as far as I'm concerned, Dr. Hugo Gibson, who you know, Hugo. He speaks it.
He's coming to CalJam this year too.
Is he coming?
I knew that.
Oh, you know what? The guy,
I sent him and his beautiful bride 2 complimentary tickets. But they're coming to the gala too.
He's going to love that. I tell you, this past year, 2016, at Focus, we had the very first the Millions Tomorrow Award. Just like your quote, you never know how far-reaching something you say, think, or do will affect millions tomorrow. And so it's a beautiful crystal globe. And he was the first recipient of Millions Tomorrow because Hugo was a teacher at Cleveland for years. And then he affected so many people with the ICA. And now he's just done so much. And he's who I learned to adjust from. And he's 74 years old. And I will stand him toe-to-toe with anyone in this profession with hand speed. The man he's brilliant. And then I also learned a lot from Mitch Malik. I don't know if you know who Mitch is.
I know the name. I don't know him personally.
He is like a 7th degree black belt, but he is a master extremity adjuster. You've never seen anything like it. There's not a bone in the body that man can't move, and it looks like, and it's an event when it happens. So you take all these different things that you learn and you package it in my practice. But I take it serious. You know, the way I look at it is, Billy, is that your patients deserve to come to see a master. And the last time I spoke,
a healer, not just somebody that cracks you, but a healer, man.
But you've got to be able to move the bone and the art form. And the last time I spoke at CalJam, it was funny that something just came to me, and I said, and I got more responses from that. And I had more people quote me on Facebook, and I just said, look, we have a profession that is selling finger paintings for the price of Rembrandts, and people aren't buying.
Right.
And it's exactly the way I look at it. You take this sloppy ass manipulation and you charge somebody $70 for it, and you wonder why they won't come back. It amazes me. And so that's why I spend so much time with technique, because the schools are really failing in the technique courses pretty seriously. And then what happens is in the profession, these chiropractors get lazy. They get real super lazy, and they quit adjusting and they start manipulating. And we're not manipulators. That's what DOs do. And and I've watched. I mean, I've been at CalJam and been upstairs where all the tables are, and just sit back and watch. I'm baffled. I am baffled by the lack of how bad technique is, because it's not no technique. It's basically just pushing on backs and twisting necks, and we wonder why our reputation goes to hell.
Right.
You know, so what was funny was the last time I spoke at CalJam 2 years ago, not last, but 2 years ago. I made and my wife asked me if I was going to do it again. I made the comment, if anybody wants an adjustment, I'll be upstairs. And did you see that? I did 120 adjustments in 40 minutes. Jeez. It was insane. We had a great time, but that's a passion of mine.
So you've got Focus coming up. What are the dates of Focus this year?
It's the Focus is the 28th and 29th. The last weekend. It's the very last weekend of July, and it's the website's focusokc.com. It's real easy, and it has all the speakers. You're coming. Andy Wakefield's coming. Gosh, this is an unbelievable lineup. You know what happens is
coming? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you guys. There's it's an unbelievable lineup of people. But what's great is, a lot of the same great speakers that come to CalJam, you know, CalJam's built a reputation, the best of the best. And because of you and guys like Brad and Dukowitz and John Minardi and these kind of guys, they've built our reputation at Focus. People want to come because they're going to get more of what they got at CalJam. They're going to get more of that at Focus, so they don't have to wait a whole year. Now, that's why it's so important that you and I work together. We both realize that and recognize that.
Right. I'm never going to. So anything else you want to bring up? You got the Next Level thing. What's all that? Show your logo real quick.
Where's it at? Next Level? Where am I at? Do you see it?
Yeah, right there.
Next.
Now, that's not just a T-shirt brand, right? That's your practice.
No, that's our logo.
Yeah.
Next Level Leadership. I am so proud of this, Billy.
So is it leadership, or is it? I thought it was more practice management.
Well, you know what? We've kind of changed the dynamic. I've been spending a lot of time. Michael Buffington is my business partner. We went to
He
chiropractic
even
school
talks a
together.
little stranger than you. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, he's from Dallas. They
He's
have
kind
their
of a
problems.
hick, huh?
They're from Dallas. He has that problem.
Yeah.
We started this 2 years ago, and because we were in another management group, and it really went south, and it did not resonate. It wasn't congruent with our integrity. And like Patrick says, the greater congruence, the greater the incongruency, the greater the destruction and or contradiction, and it was so contradictory to the way we believed that. So we left that group, and then we were approached by several doctors in the profession. Said, we've been following you for years. Will you guys please start this organization? So we started it 2 years ago, and then we called it Next Level because we want to raise the practice to the next level. But what we found, Billy, is the majority of the profession, the reason their practice are suffering isn't because of procedures necessarily or office flow or any of those things. It's because of personal lack of understanding, lack of certainty. The chiropractors don't know who they are. They don't know what they do, and they don't know why they do it. It's plain, like you said. You got to understand what it is you do. So, what we evolved into is next level leadership. We're taking chiropractors, and instead of us being a cult, we're the coaches, and you do what we say. We're gonna lift you up to be coaches yourself, be leaders yourself. That way, the whole profession benefits. If something happens to me or something happens to Michael, it will continue. We're going to leave a legacy. We don't want just a bunch of robots running around our sheep. We want leaders in the profession. We want leaders to go out and help other doctors that are struggling and suffering, bringing students. And so it's a total different dynamic than anything that's out there right now. And working with Patrick Jatempo, and I know you're good friends with Patrick.
Right.
Spent a ton of time with him up at his house, masterminding. We had a whole war room about this thing. And he was blown away by our model, about our passion and our philosophy behind the group. And Patrick said this is needed in the profession. There's nothing like it in the profession, so we're real proud of this. So it's called Next Level Leadership. So the website or the email is nextlevelglobal.net on that, nextlevelglobal.net, and I'm really proud of it. It's growing like crazy. We had 5 new members this week alone, or 3, and I got 2 more said they're joining. So it's increasing rapidly.
Awesome. And weren't you just out in New Jersey at some event with Patrick?
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out. Patrick's got a group called UAC, the Ultimate Achievers Club. It is amazing. It is a room full. This is New York. It was a room full of the top chiropractic producers in the world. There was 3 or 4 that flew in from Australia. These guys are heavy hitters. The guys that have Cellular Detox that own that. The doctor that owns Genesis Software. We're talking some heavy hitters. These guys make things happen. They're producers. Some of the biggest practices in the country. These guys are there, and it's just lifting the level of the perception of the profession and what we're doing, and coming together and helping each other be more successful. It's kind of a place for coaches to go get coached, and now we can go help more people because we all need it.
Right, of course, we all need to. We're a team together, and we're separate. We're just basically powerless. So it's really important for us to, in this environment, in the world today, to come together as a chiropractic profession rather than beating ourselves up.
Our mantra, Billy, in Next Level is leadership, and I say it so much that it almost sounds a little bit cliche with people I talk to, but it's just the way it is. A rising tide raises all boats.
Yep.
Man, and so if I learn something here's the thing. With all this being said, we've been talking about all our groups. I'm like you. I get up every Monday morning. I hit the office.
Yeah.
Our practice is rocking and rolling. I'm 21 years this year, and I have the best year I've ever had in visits, collections, everything. And so, if I learn something that I can immediately take to my office and it helps me and my team, I'm sharing it with everybody I know. Right. And so that's what I'm bringing to CalGym this year. My talk this year is absolute certainty. Who you are, what you do, and why you do it. If you can answer those 3 questions, you can succeed in any area of life. I mean, that's my belief.
All right, well, I got to wrap this call up, but I just want to thank you, number one, for who you are and what you're about, and all the love that emanates from you. I don't know how anybody couldn't like you, because you're like one of those. You're just a good old homeboy to me. I mean, I can see why people don't like me, because I can be an asshole sometimes. But
misunderstood, Billy. That's the only
Oh,
problem.
I know. It doesn't bother me. But
No, I love-
as you get older, you don't really care about what people think about you. It's
That's
very-
what's great about getting older. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. But I really want to commend you for everything that you've done with Focus and what you're doing with Next Level and your technique stuff that you're teaching. Because I mean, doctors desperately need this. And like you said, you've been at the college a lot, Parker. I've really kind of like shifted gears in my whole kind of energy. I'm obviously still speak to doctors, but I'm really trying to really reach out to the students more because they really need it. And again, I'm kind of planting some seeds because I know they're going to become doctors sooner or later. And
Absolutely, man. That's our future, Bill.
yeah, bro, I got it. All right, I'm really excited, super excited to have you at CalJam this year. I'm super excited to be on the Focus stage again this year, and let's ramp this thing up and get out and save the world. And let's do another podcast down the road, one more before CalJam comes. Would that be cool with you?
Absolutely. You know I'm here for you. Just let me know when you're ready.
All right, brother. I want to say how much I love and appreciate everything that you do, bro.
Give MJ a big hug, and I will see you soon, Billy.
Peace out, bro.
Peace.
$7 can get you a romance novel, a #1 combo at In-N-Out Burger, a 12-pack of granola bars, a cup of green juice, or 1 month of access to the CalJam network. At CalJam, we take pride in the array of topics our speakers have covered over the past 8 years. With the CalJam network membership, most of our speakers' talks can be accessed. In our network, you can also find numerous seminars from the Dead Chiropractic Society's monthly meeting with over 100 chiropractors and some of the best speakers in the profession. The CalJam network is your all-access pass to CalJam and DCS workshops, videos, and chiropractic content. From past CalJam speakers to recent DCS seminars, the network is a great resource for anybody passionate about chiropractic health or global sustainability. So don't miss out! We upload new and exciting content monthly, which can stream on any device, even your smartphone. Join the CalJam network today for only $7 a month at caljam.org/network.
Can you say rock and roll? Rock and roll!